doing first aid. Now, we're going to be going over bites and stings, insects, and ticks. Bugs, the most disturbing thing many of you think you will see on a campout. They're amazing. I love them. Most people hate them. Don't know why. Probably because they can bite and sting you, like we're going to go over. So what do you do if an insect or tick bites or stings you? So, for ticks and insects, there's a bit of a few different things you do with them. For a tick, it'll spike and it'll stick on you. What you want to do is you want to use tweezers, tick removers, grab it by the head, not the body, and pull it out. This way, the head doesn't get stuck in there and can't infect you with Lyme disease. Now for insects, what you want to do is they will most likely bite or sting you and then leave. You want to, one, don't itch. Don't itch. It's like a mosquito bite. Don't itch. You want to put water over it, cool water preferably, and then you want to put an ice pack on it. Just leave it there and don't bother with it, and it'll go away on its own. If you thought insects were dangerous, what about snakes? Venomous snakes. So, what would you do if a snake came up and bit you or your friend on the foot? The foot. There. So, what you would do is make sure the first thing you do is call 911. Then you call poison control. Tell them what has happened, and both of them will come. Hopefully. Now, during the time while they're on their way, what you want to do is make sure that whatever limb was bitten is not elevated. That way, the blood can't go to your heart, because that makes the poison spread very, very fast. You also want to, if it's on the end of your leg or your arm, you want to tie a tourniquet above it, approximately 6 to 12 inches above it, to help stop the blood flow. Now we could go over nosebleeds. Yay! 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 Stop saying yay. Nosebleeds are serious. So, nosebleeds. You get them in the fall, you get them with the dry air, and you bleed out of your nose. It's weird. That makes sense. So what do you want to do to stop this? 1, do not lean your head back, because that will cause the blood in your nose to go. And it can clot your throat full. You can die. So instead, you want to lean forwards, pinch your nose for about 10 minutes, and wait it out. That's about all you can do. Now, frost bites and sunburn. 2 polar opposites. See what I did there? Polar, because cold. Yeah, I don't have a pun for the sun, but that rhymes. So, frostbite and sunburn. You get frostbite from being out in the cold, the snow, the frost. It doesn't bite, because inanimate objects can't bite you. But it essentially freezes the blood and stops blood flow in your appendages, your toesies and your fingers, and the rest of the body if you get cold enough. So what do you want to do for that? You want to take off wet clothing. Replace it with dry clothing. Body contact, skin to skin. You want to heat it up. I'm not kidding, by the way. What you don't want to do, stick that hand in hot water. It'll totally do something good. No, it'll burn your fingers off. They'll fall off. It's bad. What you want to do is you want to put it in cool water and then slowly, you have to have patience with this, warm up the water to warm up the blood and continue the blood flow. The next part of this is sunburns. What do you want to do for that? Not get them in the first place by putting on sunscreen like a responsible person. But if you aren't a responsible person, like me, you get sunburns. And there's this great invention that I personally love called aloe vera. Technically, it's just a gel. Put it on your sunburn, and you leave it there. You gotta let it dry. Don't put clothing on it. Don't rub it. And you just let it sit there. It's like most things. Don't irritate it. Choking. It's a stereotype in a lot of movies, but it's a real thing that can happen when you eat too big of a bite of food by not using a knife, Or you could get something stuck in your throat. Or you could be a baby and you could eat something that you're not supposed to. Or you could be a man baby and eat something that you're not supposed to. Now, a big thing is, how do you tell if someone's choking? You do the ever so funny but serious thing. Ask them, are you choking? If they can answer and speak words, then they are in fact not choking. And you do not want to do the Heimlich maneuver on them, as this could injure them even more. You want to just let them do their thing. Now, if they can't breathe, they can't make a sound, they can't speak, and they're just like, then they're probably really choking. And what you want to do is you want to do the Heimlich. How do you do the Heimlich, you may ask? Well, one random person who wanted to ask, because none of the rest of you probably did, do this magic trick. I'm going to do it on myself because I'm lonely and I have no friends. Take your hand, clamp it over, take your thumbs just like this, put it right under the ribs, and you will pop it back. I'm going to do it once, and I'll just hit, and do that again if you need to. That's about all you can do for choking. If that doesn't work, call 911 because that's a problem. Okay, now we're going over poisonous plants. So we've talked enough about animals. Now it's time to talk about plants because the book says so. So, poisonous and hazardous plants. What types live around our area? Well, the three most common are poison ivy, poison oak, and poison sumac. These are three poisonous plants that you will typically find around campsites, specifically poison ivy. They irritate a bunch, and they produce an oil on their leaves that will spread if you touch it, and then touch the spot that you touched it, touch somewhere else. It's like a virus. It goes everywhere. Wow. Definitely has nothing to relate to current situations or anything. Same works for poison oak and sumac. So what you want to do for those? One, if you notice that the rash is starting, don't touch it. That will spread it and irritate it even more. Don't scratch it, leave it alone. And you can use a wide variety of purchasable anti-itch creams for poisonous plants. Now, hazardous plants. Some people may think that these are the same, but they're not. You ever run in your mom's garden? I know you have. I know you have. There's one dangerous plant out of all of the rest. The rose bush and its thorns. It's a hazardous plant, along with anything that has thorns. They can poke you, they can scratch you. Essentially, look for them and avoid them. It's the easiest thing to do to not get injured. Oh, we're rolling. Okay, so what you want to do next? Wait, no. I messed that up. Okay, rewind. So, now that we've gone over all the types of injuries that you can go over for tenderfoot, we need you guys to talk to us. So, what I would like you to do is go into the comments and tell us what are some things you could do to prevent any of these injuries from happening that we've previously talked about, including sunburns, frostbites, snake bites. That won't come back at all. Definitely not in the rest of this video ever again. Totally a one-time thing. Simple cuts and scrapes, and poisonous plants. What can you do to avoid these happening to you? Now, we're going to do the next step, making a first aid kit that you can take on a hike. I'm talking through my hand because my camera's facing downward, because I'm using a stand and totally not a real person. So, what do we need? We need some of these antibiotic wipes and Band-Aids in a container. We need some of these, definitely not expired, towelettes. Box of Band-Aids. Gauze sponge. Things, more things. Hey, some of this. Please do. Let's see what they all make. Wow! Look! It even came in its own case. So, let's go through what you really need in a small personal first aid kit. This one is a little bit larger than one you could be using, but this is extensive. let's look through. So some of the basic things that you'll need is gauze rolls and medical tape. These will help to make sure that stuff stays in place. An assortment, a very large assortment apparently, of different sized band-aids for different sized injuries. Neosporin, it's itch cream. That's about it. You also want, it's just a giant band-aid, that's not what I thought it was. Antibiotic wipes, which apparently I dropped on the floor when I made this giant invention. What else do you want, you say? Because, I don't know, one of you definitely said it. Benadryl, another great thing of itch-stopping cream. You could also use gloves in case anything gets out of hand. And first aid instruments. Tweezers, scissors, and a flashlight. These are some basic items that you could use when making your own first aid kit. Poof, what I had, because I have no idea where it went when I tossed it. This is a dumb bit, and I'm Sam. Wow, that was a video, now wasn't it? So, that was my video going over all of the first aid requirements for A through D for Tenderfoot. Now next, what you need to do is go see, up in that top left corner, Al and Landon's videos on their respective requirements for Tenderfoot and Scout. Don't forget to watch the next video that comes out. Goodbye. Oh no! A super poisonous snake bit me. That's definitely a snake and not a paracord or anything. What should I do? Post it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. And don't forget, if you don't want to miss any of our uploads in the future, turn on the notification bell. And someone please call 911. I am dying here.